Hey guys, I am about to play the first match in the Standard League with our White Weenie deck. I'll be back with you guys when we have located an opponent. Alright guys, we are in our league match, and we definitely would like to play first. That is ideal for our deck, but we do not want a hand with no lands, so we'll be sending that back. This is a better hand. Turn 1, 2-1 is pretty important in this deck to get a nice aggressive start. Yeah, okay. Oh, drawing more dudes is good, but we'll lead with the Mardu Woe Reaper. Probably play Relic Seeker turn 2, because the sooner we can get in there and do some damage, the better. So, because he gets bigger and thus gets out of course, if my opponent's not playing red, it's not super relevant, but it gets out of range of the oft-played Wild Slashes and Fiery Impulses. Okay, Shambling Vent. All right, so we're going to get in there for 2. And we will play our Relic Seeker. Can hold on to Hidden Dragon Slayer for now, since his ability to destroy stuff, may be relevant in the near future. Our opponent could have Flaying Tendrils in his hand. He doesn't get to get anything with Duress, so we're pretty happy about that. So we're probably getting in for 4 here, dropping our opponent to 14. He knows we have Hidden Dragon Slayer now, so we sort of lost the surprise element there. But, you know, he's still a pretty good 2-mana, 2-1 lifelinker, which is probably what I'll end up playing him as now. All right, so 2 man lands for our opponent. We will get in for 4. So the possibility that our opponent has... No, we don't have any equipment to search for. I did toy with the idea of running one of the equipment that pumps creatures based on their other creatures in place, creature types that are shared with it. And I do have several humans in the deck, so it would have been okay. But so here I'm trying to decide how much I want to try to play around a card like Flaying Tendrils, and I think the answer is a little bit. I'm going to play my Cub. And for now, I'm going to hold on to this land. There's no reason not to. It bluffs that we have another unknown card in our hand than we really do. So, I mean, if our opponent can't stop, this is a 2-turn clock, especially if he doesn't play any blockers or anything like that, which seems unlikely. Flaying Tendrils now can't kill our Relic Seeker, at least. Radiant Flame still can. Okay. Well, we will swing for 7. Kapow. See if our opponent has removal for anything. Looks like he probably does. Maybe complete disregard or something like that. Crackling Doom. Okay. All right. So we do lose our Relic Seeker here. Still dropping our opponent down to 9. I can gain 1 life right now if I play some warriors. So chances our opponent has Radiant Flames are still pretty decent. So because of that, I think I'm actually going to play just a Mardu Woe Reaper here and exile the Relic Seeker. We have no way of getting him back anyway. We go up to 19. So let's see if our opponent has Radiant Flames awaiting us. His Shambling Vent's kind of a problem. We can't really swing through it right now. Unless we play a face-down Dragon Slayer. We need like a Stasis Snare to really feel good about the situation. So we do need to find one of those. Crackling Doom in general isn't especially good against us because we just run so many dudes that, our opponent slowed his clock, but wasn't especially, it didn't slow us down a whole lot. I mean, it does make us contribute another creature to the board in a situation where he may be able to, wipe our board, but... Okay, Silk Wrap's nice. He can now turn his creatures into dudes, which I don't think is a good thing for us. So I don't really think we can attack right now. I guess I'm going to play my Dragon Slayer face down. I mean, what else should I do, you know? Radiant Purge is actually good against these. So that'll probably come in if we lose this game. I mean, even if we're playing another game anyway. But yeah, we'll play Hidden Dragon Slayer face down. And we'll pass. We definitely need like Anafenza or something like that to help us get through, or Stasis Snare. Either one of those would be very good for us right now. Looks like we're probably against a deck that has dragons as a win condition, so holding on to Dragon Hunter feels pretty good. Murderous Cut, all right. I mean, we do have him in a situation where he can't really tap too much mana down, or we can get in for a lot, especially if he taps it to play like a creature we can Silk Wrap. Like that. So we feel pretty good about that. I do anyway. Maybe you do too. All right, so we're going to just Silk Wrap. Hitting Jace. Now he can't use either of these, right? They both cost too much, 3 and 4. He can swing back theoretically, but I think we're fine with him doing that at this point. So we're going to attack with all creatures, dropping him to 2. Maybe. He maybe has something planned. Crackling Doom. Okay. So, does he run enchantments? I think I'm going to go ahead and just lose one of the Woe Reapers. So that just drops him to 4. I'm going to go ahead and play Dragon Hunter now, which again does open us up to overextending ourselves. But we get to gain 1 life. And it does mean that he has to leave mana up for these, or play a blocker, or have removal. Like, you know, we're putting him in a situation where he has to have something, or he dies to 4 damage, and he does. So we go on to game 2. Our opponent, clearly a more controlling kind of deck, so we're going to want our Vryn Wingmares. We're also going to want Radiant Purge. I never really thought about it before for those dual lands, but it's quite good for that. Silk Wrap seems less than stellar. I mean, we saw the one Jace, which, you know, all these decks run, so keeping it for that, I guess, makes sense. What else? I mean, Archangel also isn't incredible, but the fact that it survives any board sweepers our opponent might have other than, like, Crux of Fate, I think is pretty relevant. I could probably lose Felidar Cub, I think. I think the Wingmare is just going to be different. We're going to be on the draw, so Knight of the White Orchid is like extra good when you're on the draw because you don't even have to do anything to make it so that your Knight fetches you a land on like turn 3. So, I mean, do I want to go to 1 Silk Wrap? Probably not, because Jace is enough of a problem on his own. I mean, I could lose something like Consul's Lieutenant, or, I mean, I guess I'll just lose a Relic Seeker. I mean, he's fine, but I think this is better. I mean, having the Vryn Wingmares in is pretty key against a guy rocking, you know, he's a control deck, but we saw lots of non-creature spells like Murderous Cut and, what's the other one that he played multiple times? This one's a little shady. I think we have to mulligan it. It is one where if you draw a land, we're pretty much set because of Knight of the White Orchid. So, but we're going to mulligan. Right, this one's a little slow for us, but I will keep it, and that makes it better. So we just don't have anything till turn 2 this game, which definitely isn't ideal for us, but, you know. Our opponent probably sided in more board sweepers if his deck didn't already have them. So I'm going to play a Consul's Lieutenant first because it presents more of a problem once he gets Renown than anything else does. So, like, if he plays Jace here, we just Stasis Snare the Jace and swing with our Consul's Lieutenant. Or that thing. That thing is pretty good against our deck. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Stasis Snare on it so I can keep the beats flowing. Does mean if he can blow that up, he gets to gain life again later, but this thing is now a 3/2 first striker. And next turn we can potentially play our Archangel. Right, Jace. Yeah, that was something to be concerned of. But we might be fast enough that we don't have to be too incredibly worried about it. So I'm going to play Kithion here because I think managing to flip him is pretty ideal. And I'll play a second Consul's Lieutenant because obviously if they both get Renown, then things are going to get a little crazy. All right. Opponent is looting, as one would expect. Painful Truths. I might have sided that out against us if I were him, because that pain can really be like different, make a big difference. Wouldn't mind like top decking my Wingmare right now. A Plains would be nice too, because then we can play our Archangel. He's not going to be doing much blocking anyway, though. So, what is this deck anyway? Jeskai Black? I guess that is what it is. Or Mardu Blue, whatever you want to call those things. All right, Roast. So we're pretty happy to see our opponent have to fire off a Roast there. So both these guys are going to get Renown. Which drops our opponent to 12. So I'm going to drop the Archangel because I know even if he has a board sweeper, it'll survive and wreak havoc on him in the air. It'll also swing next turn for 5 if both my Consul's Lieutenants are allowed to swing. So, I mean, my opponent's probably trying to cast like Radiant Flames or something right now. He does lose his Jace if he does that, so I don't feel too bad about it. So these will both pump everything, including one another. So there'll be 2 4/3s. So we're swinging for 8. We're swinging for more than lethal next turn if he can't kill one of my creatures here. Killing one Consul's Lieutenant does have a pretty big effect on our clock, though. Like, it would definitely slow us down. He's probably got Crackling Doom. Look at all those Topin Free Blades. Crackling Doom. Might have been smart to cast it before I declare attacks, because then if I do sacrifice this, I do way less damage. So, but we'll see what he's got here. Even like if he wanted to Wild Slash one, he should have done it ahead. Yeah, he's Crackling Dooming. So I think we definitely lose a Consul's Lieutenant here. As nice as the double pump is, the Archangel has a lot more late game potential. So we drop him to 2 here. I kind of feel like that means we don't really need to commit anything additional to the board, but we do have a bunch of Topin Free Blades in our hands, so I'll play one. This is sort of the ideal matchup for this deck, the kinds of, I mean, where they don't seem to have board sweeping. I mean, maybe he does, and he's been unlucky. He is going to get to flip Jace now, but we don't really care if he casts Rose, Crackling Doom, and he can't cast Painful Truths. So we're in pretty good shape. He can't roast my Angel anyway, and she has lethal on her own. See what he has for us. Radiant Flames. Yeah, I had a feeling that would be around. Our Angel survives it, though. So he can weaken her, though. Yeah, so he can make it so it only takes 1 this turn. So we will swing for that 1. And then he can Crackling Doom or whatever next turn, I guess. Which would kill my Angel. So let's exile. I wish we could exile things that weren't creatures so we could get rid of stuff that he could cast. But we'll go up to 19. And then I'll also play a second Free Blade. So, like, he can get the Crackling Doom back from his graveyard or whatever, but then he has to cast it, and then he's dead to damage. So, from one of my creatures. There's no way he has enough mana to survive here, I don't think. Could be wrong. His Crackling Doom would kill this, but then he wouldn't be able to block with his Shambling Vent. If he could do both, he might be able to buy time, but he can't. There's just not enough mana. I mean, what happens if he's... No, even if he, like, swings with his vent here just to gain life, I mean, he's still dead to my army over here. Yep. All right, well, we beat Mardu Blue or Jeskai Black, whatever you want to call that. I'll determine which I want to call that on when I name this video. But so we won our first match in the league. Went really well, actually. We got in under everything he was doing. Our opponent was playing cards like Crackling Doom, meant to punish most of this metagame of large, scary creatures. And for us, it's like, okay, you just paid 3 mana to kill one of our mini creatures that has 2 or 3 power. So that's a big thing that benefited us there. So yeah, I'm happy to win the first match. We'll see if we can keep it up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.